We have so many interesting stories of things that we can share that have happened throughout our life with driving and cars, and life has changed from way back then to now. And Harold, you are involved with AARP, and they are out to assist, especially seniors our age, to drive more safely. What are they doing and what are you doing?
Well, AARP has just celebrated their 30th anniversary with the driver safety program. And it's designed for mature drivers, age 50 and older. However, anybody of any age could take the class. The classes are designed for change. You know, the things that have changed over the years were the roads, the cars, and the drivers. And the drivers have the responsibility to adapt to what's going on today. So what AARP has done is designed a refresher defensive driving course for the older drivers so that they can stay tuned to what's going on in the driving environment and stay relatively safe. The biggest problem today with our drivers is distractions, which we've talked about earlier. Probably the primary distraction today is cell phones and texting and so forth. If we can get any of our drivers to just take the few minutes to reduce the amount of time they're distracted while they're driving, they will be much better off. For the older drivers, things that have happened to us. Our eyes are starting to fail, our hearing's failing, our legs are getting stiff. We're not as maneuverable as we used to be, so we have to be prepared for that. So we show the class attendees how to basically warm up to get into a car and drive, because you're driving 4,000 pounds of metal that could seriously hurt someone or kill them, and you don't want to be a part of that. Okay? So once we get everybody warmed up, then we talk about how can you become a better driver in today's environment. Probably the best one is scanning. And people say, what is scanning? That's just looking around your driving area to see what's going on. It'll help reduce the amount of distractions because you're paying attention to what's going on in your area. You're looking for that driver coming from the right and from the left. You're becoming more aware of larger vehicles going at higher speeds, and your ability to adjust for depth perception is not as good as what it used to be.
Didn't you once say about the distance between cars you should count? Could you tell us something about that? I thought that was very interesting.
Oh, absolutely. When we first started driving, I was taught allow one car length for every 10 miles per hour. Well, unfortunately, back in those days, the cars were not that big, they weren't that fast, and there weren't that many of them. So it was a pretty good leeway. Today, with the bigger cars and the higher speeds, we're recommending that you allow or follow what is called the 3-second rule. The vehicle in front of you, when it passes a certain stopped position, start counting. And if you can go 1001, 1002, 1003, before you get to that same stopped article, you've got a safe driving distance. Now, we all know as soon as we do that, someone's going to pull in front of us. So whose responsibility is that? It's ours. We can't control what everybody else does, so we got to drive safely with our vehicle. So we back off a little bit and
That's where your scanning comes in.
You scan and then you establish a 3-second following distance.
Now, you also had mentioned if on a driver's test, do they still say 2 seconds or do they say 3 seconds as AARP is advocating?
Well, they may not even say it on the driver's test now. It used to be 2 seconds, and then it was changed to 3. Okay, I don't even think it's on the driver's test today.
Okay.
But what most of our older drivers worry about when they take a driver's test is the fact that they forget the signs. They don't remember the signage that's out on the road, which has changed significantly since we first started driving. We originally had a stop sign, and then it went to overhead lights, signs on the left side of the road, signs on the right side of the road, signs painted on the street, and you have to pay attention to all of that. And we cover signs in depth, because when you go outside, when you look at a sign, you know exactly what it's telling you. But if I give you that same shape of that sign without what's written on it, do you know what it's telling you?
That's the main.
And if you can do that, you'll pass your driver's test.
Can
Ed,
I
you have a
say
question?
something? You know, I've noticed, I do a lot of driving. I mean, I was a truck driver, but right now, I've noticed I've gotten an accident with something what I'm going to talk about, is people do not make a square turn when they're making a left turn. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be out in the middle of the intersection, then turn left like an L turn. If you notice, a lot of people now are taking a 45-degree turn.
Right.
And the person that's sitting here at the light, making the left turn, it's right at the light. I mean, at the white line, they come like this. And lots of time that car that makes the left turn on the 45 gets hit. Because maybe sometimes this guy might be back a little bit. And then if he sees the light turn green, he forgets this guy's coming 40. That's how I got in an accident. The woman came, I was doing 40 miles an hour on what's it called, over on Devon and Lincolnwood there. And this lady came on a 45, and I just caught her right on the back end. And I've noticed that till this day, it's the same way. If you stand on the corner and you watch these cars coming, they're at a 45.
That's where, this class is very, very good. All of these things are brought up. And I think you have to take it once every 3 years, and you can get a discount on your insurance by taking
in
it.
Illinois, yes, you
Right,
can.
and I know mine is going to be up in June, so I'm going to take your May class.
And it's always good to take it every 3 years because there are changes going on. There's changes going on
The
in
laws.
the laws, the traffic laws, different new equipment's becoming available. There's a lot of new safety equipment on the cars that you need to know how to use to make them work effectively.
Okay. Could you think of any safety equipment that's on your car now that you say many seniors are unaware of?
Unaware of? No, they're aware of them. They may not be using them.
Like what?
Safety belts, which are required by law, that you wear them when you drive a car. There's airbags. Fortunately, they're only engaged when there's a crash, and it's to protect you. But you need to know how to be properly fit in your car so that you're not too close to your steering wheel when that bag deploys, or you could be injured by the airbag. Okay? So you have to be 10 to 12 inches away from your steering wheel. Okay? There's a lot of simple things that we don't think about. Turn signals. When we first started driving, we had to use arm signals. Okay? Today, there's electronic signals. And they could be anywhere on your car, and you may or may not know if they're on. So that's where you have to pay attention so you're not distracted by other things, because you don't want to be that person driving down the street with your turn signal on.
Right. Well, it brings us almost to the end of this segment, and I always used to like to take a famous person and a quote. And Ogden Nash is a poet of renown, and he wrote, and I think he meant it for these Burma shave, it says, "Beneath this slab, John Brown is stowed. He watched the ads and not the road." So I hope that all the seniors practice safe driving and do sign up for the driving courses that are given frequently in the area. And I believe the next one is coming up March 18th and 19th. At the CRC in Schaumburg, and then again in May. So look into it, drive safely, and God bless everyone.